We just saw the biggest dip in the crypto markets we have seen this entire year. The paper-handed noobs are panic selling, and your favorite crypto doomsday influencers are saying the bull market is over. But that's not you, right? No, of course not! You know better by now after years and years of watching my videos, right? Right? Look, there's blood in the streets, and even if it's your own, this is the best buying opportunity we have had almost all of 2024. Now is the time to scoop up future millionaire bags that others are dumping out of fear. Today, I take a look at some coins that have been on my buying radar for a while. It's mission time. Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stache here. We are at GIA headquarters, the Gaming Intelligence Agency. You know who it is, you know what we're doing here. We're giving you guys the latest intel on everything crypto gaming. Now, maybe you guys are like, where have you been, Stache? Where have you been? I was out on a very long field mission to the Bahamas. That's right, very top secret stuff after evil Dr. Kagi. If you guys were not following along, go check out my X profile for all the fun. You definitely don't want to miss that. I'll link it here below as well. But today, we're jumping back into the markets because we've seen the biggest dip here. We've seen almost all 2024, and people are freaking out. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. But now really is a time to buy, not to panic sell at a loss. It's amazing how many people will buy and then sell at a loss thinking like this will never come back. It's over. It's all over. But today I'm going to take a look at some coins that have been on my buy radar, and now is a really good time to be looking at some of these coins. So I'm just going to quickly go over some of these, talk a little bit about why I like them. We're not going to go too crazy in depth. I'm not going to analyze the charts and give you an entry point, but I'm going to try and just talk a little bit about why I like them and maybe why you should be looking at them as well. But before we jump into that, the first thing I actually really want to do is I want to settle this right now. Is the bull market over? Is this it? Should we not be buying right now? Because a lot of people think that it is. But I got some evidence here that I think you guys definitely need to see, because this is top intel, and I think this should convince you that we are right where we should be, and that huge blast off is just around the corner. Now look, yeah, we saw a massive dip, but this is probably the largest bear trap in all crypto history. You can see this chart actually illustrates very well exactly what's going on here. You can see like we're here, and then we've had that first sentiment extreme, which is when we saw Bitcoin go above all-time highs before the halving, and now we've hit this massive dip. Right, since then we've kind of just slowly dipped down. We're right here, man. That's it. We're right there. That's it. That's where we're at. We're at that spot, and people are gonna start freaking out, thinking this is over. But trust me, man, we have not hit euphoria yet. And there are several factors that support this. Let's go take a look at them real quick. So the first one is the Bitcoin halving progress, right? When you compare every Bitcoin halving to the past, there is some rhyme, there's some correlation there, right? We know that when Bitcoin halving happens, it's not like the supply shock has been felt immediately. And you can see this every year, it takes about, we'll say 8-10 months-ish before we really start to see that supply shock and people, clamoring over trying to get Bitcoin when there just isn't enough supply, right? And this has classically happened in almost the same frames. Now, this first one right here, you're thinking, okay, well, in this halving frame, it happened at the end of 2012, but really it should have been kind of right here probably. And you can see this chart. If you look at this time frame right here, compared to this one, and then compared to this one, they look very similar. We're exactly where we need to be, because look, right after that 10 months, right? Like happening in, let me see, was this the 7th? Yeah, July. And then the 10th, like September, October, we start to blast off. Same thing here in March, and they're getting a little extended, right? Now we're in September-ish, a little bit earlier, blast off. We're doing the same thing right now, and it's gonna blast off again. Now, here's some more evidence, some more intel that I've gathered. The Fed has been looking at cutting rates, right? This is a big thing, and it will affect all markets, not just crypto, but it is a good thing for crypto as well. Wall Street is really pressuring the Fed to take aggressive action on rate cuts. The markets are down significantly this morning as well. Dow Jones, you can see, down 2.69% across the board. We're seeing every index down significantly. They expect rate cuts of 0.5% in both September and November, and another 1/4 point in December. Previously, traders were looking at 2 1/4 points cut for the rest of the year, so it's more aggressive than they were thinking. This is another sign pointing to, this happening all at the same time, right? When is this going to go down? November, December. This is a perfect storm brewing. Here's yet some more evidence. Donald Trump, he's brought it in. He's made crypto a part of the election, right? We're in an election year here in the United States, and Trump is pushing the crypto narrative, and he's pushing other candidates to have to address that crypto narrative as well, right? It's a big thing. People are starting to wake up to crypto that never did before, right? Never did before because of Trump. And he says, now after Treasury Secretary Yellen admits her fears over the future of the US dollar, which there are fears of it being not the global reserve currency, Trump has floated the possibility of using Bitcoin to pay off the US's $35 trillion debt pile, which is adding $1 trillion every 100 days. That's $3 trillion plus a year. And he wants to use Bitcoin to pay off that debt. He's got a plan to do it. That's significant. Even if he never actually does it, the thought of that being out there in the world, people are going to take note. Other countries are going to take note. So some evidence right there of why we are not yet out of a Bitcoin bull run. And this is going to easily go in through the rest of the year and I think into 2025, in my opinion. Now let's take a look at some of the coins that have been on my list, my buy radar here. And we're going to start off with some infrastructure plays, gaming infrastructure plays, right? That's number one. Then we're going to move in to actual game coins that are for specific games, right? We're going to talk about ones that are Metaverse focused. I'm going to show you guys a mobile gaming coin that I really love, some shooters that I think are really good up and coming, and then we're also going to take a look at some AI and gaming coins too. And then stick around for the end, because I'm going to show you 3 tokens that have not yet launched that are upcoming or are in a state of almost here, and they're coming very soon, that you definitely want to keep an eye out for some games that are actually really, really fun to play. Not just like, oh, it's going to be a bunch of great, ways and opportunities to make a bunch of money and flip some stuff. But the gameplay is actually fun, so stick around for those things. But let's jump right into it. First on my list is TON. This is the Telegram token. And if you guys know me very well, you know I don't like Telegram. I'll say it right there again. I don't like Telegram. It's funny, I used this app for years and built a great community there, but it just got so overrun with bots and just not the features I needed for a gaming community, so we moved to Discord. But what I will say is that recently, gaming on TON has absolutely blown up. We're seeing so much action there. Now, I'm not a fan of these games. They're not games I actually like, but I will say they're games that I know millions of people do, right? I'm not like an idle, crappy toilet game type of gamer. But what I will say is we know millions of people do love it, and Telegram already has access to millions of users, right? On the BNP chain here. And so, we've already seen some games break out, and I think that there is a big gaming narrative that is coming to Telegram. Now, like I said, not my favorite, but I do recognize that there's an opportunity here, right? This is one of those bigger infrastructure plays, and you can see access to 800 million Telegram users is huge, right? They're really pushing this, gaming narrative for the tools they're providing. Now, when you look at the charts here, out of all the coins we're going to take a look at today, I would say this is probably the worst buying opportunity out of all of them, but still not a bad one, right? We're looking at I don't know, all-time high-ish of, what was it, what was the all-time? It was like $8.25, yeah, $8.25. And now we're nearing almost half of that, right? A little bit, like I said, a little bit of correction here over the last 24 hours. You can kind of see the chart here, but still a great buying opportunity for TON, right? Long term. Now you're going to get less returns from TON, but I think that it's still a solid gaming narrative with what's going on there with their very small mobile games, or what we like to call toilet games. But like I said, once again, still tons of potential upside there. All right, moving on and kind of continuing with the APAC, or the Asian gaming region, kind of tour de force, which Telegram is obviously very big over there as well. WeMix is also a very large Asian focused or Eastern focused gaming chain, and we've seen some pretty successful hits there recently. Also a really good, you look at this, man. I mean, obviously in 2021, you can see this, man, super overvalued, but $24 in 2021. Now, will they hit those all-time highs again? Probably not, but I can see them, recouping, a significant portion of that. We could get back to a couple of dollars here possibly, but a really great buy with this narrative of what's going on in the APAC region. And they do have good games. Nightcrows has been a really great game. Tons of people playing it. I played it. I felt it was a lot of fun. Also things like Mir 4, and yeah, Mir has had a little bit of up and down here recently, but they are adding some good games here. So I think definitely a decent play here. And you look at this kind of chart, man. I mean, this is that kind of chart where it's like, you're going to scoop it up at the bottom, and if this thing blasts off, it's going to blast off hard. Now, kind of continuing that APAC focused blockchain gaming narrative, Ron is also, I think, in a really good position for a scoop, right? You look at this token, huge narrative here. You know, we know that Ronin has a lot of users, right? Even if there's probably a lot of bots there too, but the fact of the matter is they do have a lot of users. People are playing the games, and they just added quite a few new games to their ecosystem, which is a big thing. I've always said that was going to be the deciding factor on whether Ronin was going to be a big chain, if they could really add some good games, and they've done that recently. Now, the price doesn't reflect that, but you can see, like, we've already surpassed previous all-time highs, and now we're dipped down here to a pretty significant low. I mean, you see, like, you know, more than 50% from earlier this year. I do think that, you know, when we see this bull market rage back, that Ronin is going to rage back with it. Definitely a good thing to pick up right now. When you look at some of the things in their ecosystem, obviously outside of the Axie stuff, Pixels has been big. We've seen Apeiron and Wild Forest do pretty well. Right now, the Machines Arena is also pushing, and they have a lot of fun things going on. We've also seen Kydro jump in, but the big ones lately are Forgotten Runiverse and Lumitera. Both say they're coming soon, but people are already out there playing Forgotten Runiverse. So really cool to see that they're adding some new games, and I think that will help. All right, now, we can't forget the Western gaming narrative, right? When you talk about Western focus, you know, there's some people out there that just think, hey man, these Western devs are not going to make it. Looking at you, Jonah. But the fact of the matter is that you can't give up on what we're doing here in the United States, is to say, oh, everything is going on in the East. Who cares about the West? Those guys are losers. They're never going to get it. But I think Superverse actually gets it, man. They have great partnerships. They're doing what a lot of people thought Portal Coin was going to do, and I think they're actually doing it quite well. And once again, I mean, you know, great buying opportunity. We've seen this already break the kind of, you know, support that it had earlier this year in January 2024. And go, you know, it's really close, like the 30 something, 60 something cents. So I mean, I don't know how much lower we're going to go with this, but definitely a great opportunity. When you look at the games and things that they're already supporting, that they have in their ecosystem, these are the top tier games. These are all my favorites that I talk about, that I say these are going to make it off the grid. That's the number one. That's all you got to know. That's all you got to know, is that they're partnering with Off the Grid. But also some of my all-time favorites like My Pet Hooligan, Wilder World, Shrapnel, Metalcore, and a host of others, man. So many others. You know? So I think that they definitely have a really good kind of like infrastructure for gaming narrative here that they're, you know, really driving in the US. And when you look at this chart, once again, it's one of those charts that, man, you look at 2021, here it is. Do we, you know, can they get back to that? Maybe, maybe not. But just think if it can get back to, you know, the $2 range. Even that's a great come up, and right now is a great time to scoop. All right, moving on to the single game plays, and this is the, you know, when we want to break down these single game coin plays, I'm trying to pick out what I think is going to be the top of that one genre. And so we're going to start off here with the metaverse of gaming, right? Now, a lot of people think, oh, the metaverse is dead. Yeah, it was a fad. It's over. We already did that, Stache. It was so 2021, 2022. But the fact of the matter is, this concept of a interoperable, you know, metaverse where you can do all kinds of stuff, it's still something incredibly viable. And just finding the right type of way to roll that out could be, you know, something that Wilder World is getting right here, right now. You know, they've done a really good job with getting people excited about the driving aspect of their game. But that's just a very small part. We know that like a whole open world shooter and kind of like GTA style world is coming very soon, and it is top tier. It looks great. If you guys have not checked out Wild World, definitely go look at some of my streams racing there. And you know, as soon as the shooter part or open world part is out, I will be on top of that. We do know Midnight in Miami is coming soon, but you can go play this right now. When you look at this token, man, once again, here's 2021 November. You guys think, like, you see this and you're like, there's no way. And look, here's the same dip, guys. Here's almost the same exact dip. If you see this, like here's where we are in the beginning of 2024, and then here's where we are now. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, sell it, sell. And then, you know, it's the same thing now. It's just been extended just a little bit, you know, a longer period, right? And we start to see that with some of the markets where we extend some of these periods. I think that's where we're at right now with this as well. So once again, I think we're seeing, you know, not all-time lows here for a while, but a really great position to scoop up. All right, moving on to the mobile gaming narrative. Now, there are quite a few pretty good mobile games now in crypto, but my absolute favorite is Cypher Odyssey. I don't play a ton of mobile games, right? It's like on the regular. I test a lot of mobile games in crypto, but I don't regularly just play them, right? But Cypher Odyssey was one of the ones that absolutely got me hooked, and I was playing it on mobile a ton as it launched. Now, as we can see with the token, similar thing, man. Huge run up here in 2021. You know, they didn't have much with as far as gameplay. Gameplay came out, you know, around this time. We had a huge pump, and then back here we are again. Now we're almost down to, you know, some low lows. When you talk about some of these all-time lows, so once again, another great time. You got to zoom out with some of these things. A lot of people are looking at it, they're not zooming out far enough, right? But Cypher Odyssey, amazing gameplay. The team is top notch. They keep adding stuff. They've really done it right, and I think they have a great, you know, a great thing here. Now they are going to be crossplay, right? So you'll have mobile, and then you'll be also be able to get it on Steam and Epic as well on a PC version. I've been playing the PC version. It's great. Definitely one to check out. All right, now moving on to shooters as a specific genre here in crypto gaming. There are so many shooters. There are so many shooters. People love shooters, right? I get it. It's one of my favorite genres as well, which is why we're highlighting it here. But I want to put a highlight on two that I think are doing things uniquely, right? There's a lot of shooters out there, but they just don't have that unique edge, that cool, unique thing. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's cool. I like that, right? That's what I want to see from a game like this, and that's what it takes for that game to garner any kind of attention outside of our little crypto bubble, right? 99 Heroes is one of those games. I have a ton of fun playing 99 Heroes. I love the cat aspect. I love when you get shot and killed out of your mech, like your little cat jumps out, he's got a big gun, and he's like, yeah, I'm still in it, bro, blah, 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 blah. You know, and so it's a lot of fun. Now, obviously, there's more polisher. They've been doing some really good airdrops, which I love. But you look at this token, man, I mean, this is it. Right, when you're talking about, man, where should I have bought? It's right now, literally all-time lows. And this game is getting ready to do a new season. We know that. A lot of fun. Once again, I'm basing most of this on fun. I could go into like fun and all this shit, but man, really, how is it fun? Do I enjoy it? Yeah, I do. I have a lot of fun. Sometimes I'm playing hours and I don't remember. It's like, oh shit, I played 9 for 3 hours today. You know, so definitely look at 9 Heroes if you haven't played it, and the 9 token there. Like I said, this is one of those ones where this could be a really good scoop. And I mean, look, even if you're getting back from like your 6 cents over here to, you know, this is just the, you know, beginning of the year at 24 cents, 25 cents. That's a pretty good, you know, 3 or 4x. And I think we can go way bigger than that. All right, moving on. Now, this one is the metal token, or Bad Mad Robots. Now, you can see this chart right here, and this looks kind of insane, right? Like, this is a chart that typically I would be like, ooh, manipulation, something's going on here. I don't know what it is, but essentially, you know, this is a newer game, and, you know, this is one of the ones I have not played yet, but I've seen gameplay, and the gameplay looks fun, and I've also seen the way they position themselves with the aesthetic of the game and the kind of overall look and feel, right? I love the fact of like these crazy, like, you know, big attitude robots going out there, different styles, you're smashing on people, you got customization through crafting and all kinds of things like that the token's going to be able to bring. And, you know, this is one of those tokens that, once again, is still, I feel, in very much big price discovery. Now, we're obviously not at all-time lows here, but pretty close. So I do think this is one of those ones that you definitely should do some more research on. I'm going to be playing this one pretty soon, so look for that live stream coming, and that should give you a better idea of how fun this game actually is. But I would say right now, this is something you guys should at least be keeping your eye on, because I do think out of all the shooters, this one could be a fun one that you know, could garner some attention. All right, rounding out our single game coins, right, or single game coins, we're going into AI plus gaming. And this pick right here should be a pretty obvious one for you guys. You guys know I am a hooligan, right? My Pet Hooligan has been one of my favorite crypto games for a while, and not just because the game is fun, because it is, not just because the game is unique and different, because it is, but because the team is amazing, because the team is pushing the AI forefront with all the cool stuff they're doing. I've been to their studios, I've seen behind the scenes, I've seen the 20-30 people working all in a studio together, motion capture, actors, musicians in there, people doing cool things. They even have me in the game. Isn't that enough? If it's not, look at this chart, man. Look at this chart, right? So once again, a token that's it only launched earlier this year. You know, we hit an all-time high of $1.10, and now we're down. We're in price discovery. We don't know how low it can go, right? We don't have enough time on this coin. But man, Carrot at all-time lows here, you know, I would say is definitely a big scoop. You know, it's one of those scoops where I'm like, hey, you know, why? You know, with the AI narrative, still being big, maybe it's kind of died off a little bit, but I'm telling you that narrative is not going to go away this cycle. It's not going to go away this cycle. And I think the team at My Pet Hooligan are doing a great job here. And the Carrot token is meant to be kind of an ecosystem token in a way, but definitely here looking at My Pet Hooligan as its first use case. And where we're at with this token, this would definitely be a great time to be looking at grabbing this token if you truly believe, which I do. I really think that this game can go somewhere. All right, rounding out AI and gaming, this is a token that I haven't talked too much about, but the AGI token, or Delesium from Delesium, they've made some pretty big pivots, right? If you go look at kind of their history, what they were trying to do, they've kind of pivoted into being this like gaming AI, OS kind of focused platform. Now, what I will say is that I'm not saying I don't know that I have the strongest conviction in the team on this one, but when you look at that kind of AI play and gaming play and what they're kind of doing here, and then you kind of look at where we're at with this token, I mean, this is a pretty good entry for something like this, and I do think that Delesium has something with what they're doing. Now, I did a breakdown of Delesium a couple months ago. We talked a little bit more about some of the aspects of the actual token. Make sure you guys go check that out, and I think they'll give you a little bit more insight on the AGI token and why I'm bullish on it. But like I said, once again, not a lot of quality products doing AI plus gaming and doing it right and doing it in a unique way. I do think Delesium has something there, but time will tell with this one, right? I'm not as confident in this one, but I do see a good entry here in general. Okay, moving on to some tokens that are not necessarily released yet, right? But are attached to games that are actually really fun and have cool things going on right now. One of them is The Wanderers. This game is a lot of fun. We've seen a lot of people playing this on the timeline, and they do have a play to airdrop going on right now. This is one of those ones where it's like, man, why not get it now and just test out with the airdrop? Because they're gonna probably time this perfectly with the market with that airdrop. And I think that all the people who grind this game currently will probably be sitting pretty well when they do launch the token, which I do believe is gonna be coming out a little later this year. So definitely go check out Wanderers. It's on Epic Games. As you see, you can go download it for free there and get started. A lot of people are having fun playing it. I haven't played as much Wanderers as I would like. That's also on my list here now that I'm back from vacation to check out. Another one of the unreleased token games is Moonray, right? This is one I have been playing a ton and been playing it for a long time. This game is incredibly unique within our industry. It is a sweaty man's game, I will say that. But it is a lot of fun, man. I really just enjoy playing Moonray, and they do have a token coming out pretty soon. We know it's going to be a lot of fun, and so that's something you want to keep your eye out on as well. Now, rounding everything off, you didn't see it coming, I'd be surprised. Off the Grid, my friends. Look, I've been talking a ton about this. This is the one. I've never been more confident about a game making it in the mainstream than I have about Off the Grid. You can go back and look at countless thousands of hours of me talking about video games. I've never felt about a game like this ever in crypto. This is the one, guys. And their token is coming soon. The Guns token, the Guns ecosystem is going to be big. They already have 2 games with Technicore and Off the Grid. And that Guns token TGE is going to be happening here very soon. We don't have an exact date, but this is one you want to definitely keep your eye on. And if you guys are following my channels or you're in my Discord, you will know immediately, because this is one of our top mission priorities here at the GIA. All right, well, there you go, agents. I shared with you my future bags, the things I've been looking at, why I'm kind of bullish on them, why I kind of like them. Looking at some of those entry points, we're at a great time. Even though we've seen a little bit of slight recovery here, some of these tokens are just absolutely primed to buy now and then just rip here over the next quarter leading into 2025. But go do your research. Tell me which ones you guys like the most. I know there's a lot of coins out there, but these are my tops. What are you guys into? What are you liking? What are you filling out of this list? Put them in the comments below. That's all we have for today, agents. Until next time, Secret Agent Stache, over and out.
Secret Agent Stache. Secret Agent Stache. Oh, where